Alright. Right. Okay, so. Are we healed? Are we good? We better be healed. Cool. So we get some items really quick. It's the most important thing. Loot the burning out husk of a town. They say the ancient people used a stone to make their ship float. I am Jim. My home is the dwarf village, but I am here, investigating. Pass through the Titan's tunnel, then south to find Sard of the Sage. If the orb of earth begins to shine again, the earth shall revive. Sartre does not fear the evils of the cave. I'm a farmer! Not anymore, you aren't. This town was invaded by the vampire. Blah. The clinic was destroyed when the town was coiced. Is it a curse? No. Paltry polka. Thank you, push-ups. I will take that. Not sure I agree, but I'll still take it. The Titan who lives in the tunnel eats gems. He loves rubies. The vampire of the Earth Cave is stealing the power of the Earth. We need your help. The Earth Cave is on the peninsula southwest of this town. Everyone knows me. Well, you never heard of Dr. Oon? Doctor Who? Which one is Echoes a review? A remake of? Oh my god, let me out. There's no Erdrick in this version. Sorry, everyone. No Erdrick. I mean, a NES game, that's... yeah. I mean, could you imagine playing a remake of an NES game? Because I can. That's just impossible. So... I believe... So this is a part of the game I'm not really a big fan of, to be quite honest with you. We have to go into the Earth Cave halfway. It's a little over halfway. In order to get access to the ruby, in order to go through the other cave, in order to get access to Sarda, in order to go back through the Earth Cave the rest of the way, which also means going through the original part. You'll notice that while the Marsh Cave kinda sucks, it's nowhere near as frustrating as what I just described. Like, this is kind of weird padding. If Sarda gave us, I don't know, a shortcut down to the vampire, that wouldn't be an issue, but this is the NES, so what can you do? On the plus side, the next game we'll be doing a review of is not an NES game, or wasn't an NES game. It was a PS2 game. Go and grab that while we're here. Actually, we need it. Actually, we could use it. Yes! Push-ups, definitely. Oh. To put that on Ross or Blade Javal? Oh, both of them have really bad absorb. Let's give that to Blade Javal, I think. Oh, you can't actually use that. So this is Final Fantasy Renaissance push-ups. This is a Unity game, which obviously uses a lot of assets and design features from the original Final Fantasy 1, but it is a brand new game, a remix, as I've been calling these. I admittedly have not run into that problem, Trihexia. I always have way too much to do. But I've heard of that issue from a lot of people. So I would not consider that something that is an unusual thing. Well, so despite my snark just now, snark. Gotta snark. It's very important. This has been the most like the original of the ones we've been playing so far. And that's kind of been weird to me, actually. Like, when I heard about Renaissance for the first time, I don't remember if Blade 12 was the first one to mention to me or not. But anyways, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, like, it's a total remake of the game with new classes and new functionality and done from scratch in Unity. Wow, this has got to be completely different. It's not. Don't mistake me, the class design really does change the game. It's a core element of the game that's very different. And that's going to absolutely drag the score up, 100%. But the meat of the game has been so similar to the original that I've been able to use my own extensive knowledge of FF1 and the NES to just kind of chat about it as we go, because it's almost one-to-one. Other than the new content, for the new classes, like little side quests and stuff, and the new gear, because some of the itemization has been changed in order to accommodate the new classes, it's been pretty much straight identical so far. So, yeah, this feels like playing the NES version of the game, just, better. This isn't like Zelda 2, where, there's so many things done under the hood, it's barely comparable to the original game. I'm curious if we'll reach a point where we have, like, brand new dungeons or levels or anything. I suppose it helps, if we could use that word, that we have reverse engineered FF1 so much at this point that we have an absolute wealth of resources to determine what to do with it and why and wherefore, and so forth and so on. So is there anything worth grabbing here? Let's see. There's a sword I can't use. What else? It's a heal 2 potion. Ooh. That... That was 5 push-ups. Sorry. That took me a second. Yes, that was 5. The whole gimmick of the fight is you had to AoE them down. Ooh. That might be worth grabbing. That's on basement floor 4. Excuse me. See how bad the enemies are with our current power level. Like, I'm not super worried about it, but a lot of what we do is cooldowny, or relies on magic, which we don't have a tremendous amount of. Like, I could absolutely annihilate a boss, but I only have, what, 2 casts of Ramuh at this point? Something like that. We're getting decent gold at this point, and not even bad experience, too. So that's good. 3, excuse me. 3 casts of Ramuh at this level. Let's see how much money we could steal from the earth. Don't take that out of context. Looked like that was about 500 gold. Worth it! We have stolen from the earth. Let's see. Reduce all foes' attack and magic attack. Nice. Hey, Zach Taft. I do find it interesting we still haven't gotten a new attack spell, by the way. Attack dance, excuse me. Drain Zomb is still doing decent damage. It's just interesting we haven't gotten a second one yet. Found gold. It's okay, I've got a whole bunch of heals for you. Here, chug these, Blade of All. I know some people like to say that heal potions taste bad because it adds the flavor. The flavor of the game, I mean, obviously. I always like to think that they taste like they flavor them, right? There's different brands of potions that taste like different things. And of course, for those of you who don't know, there's real-life potions, which obviously don't heal you at all, but they're just there for drinking. Usually cherry-flavored, if you're wondering. Oh no, not the energy drinks. Screw the energy drinks. Those are terrible. No, I mean, like, you go to a convention and they're like, hey, have a health potion. And it's cherry juice. Although, one time, this is years ago, there was a health potion that they sold. And it was all red and goopy. I was like, what is it? And it was literally just maraschino cherry sauce. Like, they took a jar of maraschino cherries, poured out the cherry syrup in it, and just filled that into the jar. Concentrated death. Oh my god, these bats. Oh my god, these bats. Maybe I should have gone with Dark Knight, just so I could eat all these bats eventually. Think about the power. I could have had so much power. Yeah, exactly. Like, you got the green apple, you got the cherry potions. What would a mana potion taste like? The blue, right? Because you could go with raspberry, you could go with minty. Maybe like coconut. Sweet coconut flavored. Or watermelon, that's another one. Can we run from Earth? I'm actually curious. Nope. Well, okay. That's a wasted round. I kind of figured. Oh, 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 oh. This is me being amused by that fact. Idavum Baba, Mr. Red. Oh, 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 oh. I have such a weird party setup. The more I think about it, the weirder it is. I wonder if people have mathed out like what the most damage per turn is you could get in something like Renaissance. Or if anybody's even bothered. I don't know how many people run this game. Sweet, a shield. Some gold. More gold. That was not worth it. Him laba shaba kito. It's because when he's speaking Huttese, he's actually very enunciated. There is no mistaking what he is seeing. Yeah, no kidding, Cynthillius. I've noticed that too. Like, there's a couple of Mega Man ROM hacks that have speedrun community, but it's almost always the really old ones, right? The ones that have been around for 20 years. Or 10 years, or whatever. Hey, Random. How's your day going? Oh, I don't know, Zacteft. I guess that's fine? We'll call that fine. There's nothing really popping about it. So, neutral out of 10. Please stop trying to kill Rax. It's been very strange, Random. Oh, mumbling is actually pretty easy to do in sign language. I can actually show you. So, like, I don't remember a lot of sign language off the top of my head, but, like, if this was the sign language, then is the mumbling. I know that sounds strange, but there's actually an enunciation to sign language by being very crisp about the hand movements, right? So if you just kind of blur them a bit, then what you're left with is mumbling. I could probably fight two things. So I'm usually running because, honestly, it's just not worth the time and effort to fight a group. Not when I have as little AoE damage as I do in this group. I was actually going to ask when you think you're going to release it, Random, because I want to watch the final version when it comes out. Yep, 470 gold from that one. These bulls have a lot of money. Oops. Nope, I want you to do that. And then that. They're from Chicago. I mean... 13th, huh? Whoop. Yeah, we could fight 4 guys. Just have to take it seriously. And I can do that. Only 200 gold off of these guys. What in the world? Pathetic. Hey, you. Give me all your money. Your GP or your HP. Yeah, fair point. No, I know the feeling, Random. One of the reasons I walked away from the theaters, one of the reasons, was because it just took so much time to do the editing and line up the rolls and get the recording and just, oh my god, it was a huge time consumption for something that basically nobody cared about. Except for Kenix Cow, who just leveled.
Mm.
Okay. You know, I would like to think that bone bread would taste worse, but like, I don't know, Archon loaf? Ugh. Right, I remember this room. This is the room where you have to go all the way around in order to get to the exit, because of course you do. I shouldn't complain. It's a form of peeking. Do you really want to know the answer to that, Mr. Red? Is that something you want in your heart? Remember, it goes down from Terminator Genesis. I'm just saying. Yeah, just poke me right now, Tomas. Be like, yo, your records are wrong! They're wrong! And then smack, and smack, and just smack me around until I fix it. I literally just fixed Synthelius' name. Live on camera. That is much higher hit, and bonus damage to magic beasts, so I will take that. What the hell is that? Oh, a Geomancy Bell. Well, the question is, which one's which, Tomas? Let me phrase that more clearly. Which one do you want to end up with? What? I'm about to fight a boss, and he just one-shot Blade Traval, who was in the final row from almost full health. Jesus. I was just thinking to myself, alright, I need to make sure I'm capped, because I'm about to fight a boss. Whatever's in this chest had better be worth it, because it cost Blade Travel his life. God damn. It was 1,000 gold. Mr. Red, or not Mr. Red, sorry. Blade Traval, we have mathed out the value of your life. Well, I'm still gonna go fight the boss, because I'm right here. This sucks. But the good news is, you don't contribute much to boss fights anyways. So it's not the end of the world without you. You do contribute to me running from battles, though. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, they wouldn't add an item to res you until the 4th game. So, or the 3rd game. No, I'm pretty sure it's the 4th game. Pretty sure. I think, now I'm second guessing myself. It's 3 or 4. All living things were born to die. No one can defeat me. the vampire. For I am a vampire, you see. With my incredible power, I will destroy you. Okay, so let's get some regen going on here. Or we could get paralyzed instantly. Like, that's cool. And then Rax one-shot the vampire. Without even jumping. Just a regular-ass hit. It's identical so far, Traxia. Except for, like, the side quests, which are obviously... So now we've got to get out. This is, unironically, the hard part. Because we lost our runner. Now, we still have one person in the party who has a good chance at running. It's Kennex Cow. But she doesn't have the guaranteed run feature that Blade Jamal has. Yep, we have stopped being runner. We are now lore. Which version of FF1 do I like the most? I mean, the Pixel Remaster is the correct choice there. Like, there's really no other option at this point in time. With some of the FFs, there's a bit of a question mark as to which version is the best. There's no question mark with FF1. Best FF to start with is 4. Which version is a little bit trickier. Because there are several valid versions of 4. There's at least 3 valid versions of 4, actually. Yes, Darkrai. First trip to the Earth Cave. And we lost our Fleer. I don't remember if it was that or the PSP version, Blade Jamal. Yeah, some people say the PSP version of 4, which I consider to be the second worst version of 4, personally. Whoops. Not that that makes it bad, just it's the second worst. And we're poisoned. Perfect. I will say this, it's not like there's a... What word do I use here? It's not like there's a version of 4 that will be a net negative game, right? Even the SNES version, I think, is going to score a net positive. I should hope so, anyways. Different game, Darkrai. Doesn't count. Anyways, so generally speaking, most people recommend one of 3 separate versions of 4 as like the version of 4 to play. One is the DS version, which nowadays means the PC version. That would be my pick, by the way, personally. Some people prefer the Pixel Remaster, which is a quality of life touch-up of the SNES version. And some people prefer the PSP or the GBA version, which are actually pretty different from each other. But at a glance, most people probably won't be able to tell the differences. Almost there. Imagine you're just running along in the fields and then 8 wolves ambush you. Eight. I know that overworld random encounter tables exist in D&D, but good God. Okay, we made it. Where's the Reser? Right, they got rid of the clinic. Really? I will admit my biggest negative for the PSP version is the art style. I actually put the game down right about at the... can't think of the name of it. The cave where you go fight Octomammoth. Because I couldn't deal with it. So I've actually never gotten past that in the PSP version. And I never plan to. Get up, Bladeball. Ah, I'm sleeping on the job. Jeesh. I really didn't like the art style. Yes. I think I just accidentally fought with Blade Deval. The one guy I wanted to run most with. Blade Deval, run! Run! Before you get eaten by a shark. Or just, okay, you can do that too. It's okay. So Rax figured out how to run. Oh, the after years. Someday we'll probably review that. Someday when I have the mental and emotional HP to play that. I don't know why I did that. We're just going this way now. So, oh god, I forget the stat it's based off. I think it is actually based on your luck. But it also is based on your class. And the Thief, which is what Blade Deval is, has a near 100% chance to run. I think it's 255 out of 256 chance or something like that. Look, I'm just saying, Holy Dragoon has only ever been in one game, and I've never forgotten about it. It's just such a cool concept. Worst FF to start with. Let's cut off at 12, because I don't like to talk past 12. So, Jesus, Ross. Maybe it is. I don't know. We'll just know. I do not know. So the worst FF to start with. So, there's two answers for that. The best and the worst. So, that would be 6, obviously. Nope, 11's after 12. That doesn't count. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It tastes so sweet. Rubies are my favorite. You found 1 gold! You're right, Blade Deval. That was a worthwhile item to get. I love how many heals we've already gone through. Hello, Czar. So let's see. I mean, the worst FF is 2. I'm sorry. I know Blue Wind would contest that, and they would be wrong. The worst FF is 2. Gloves that maximize the mug effect. Really? Sure. Interesting. Oh yeah, sorry, I should be clear. Starting with 2 NES would be the worst. Just the worst. But let's assume modern versions of everything. What would be the worst FF to start with? I mean, I still think 6 is the right answer to that. Yeah, cutting off is 12. Not counting 11. Because 6 is the best, random. Especially the Pixel Remaster version of 6. 6 already was the best designed in a dozen small little ways that most players won't even notice. Add to that the quality of life features of the Pixel Remaster, and that's not even a question anymore. All right, 1 second, please. Oh, wow. So it is closer than I thought. Well, I'm saying that wrong. It is as close as I thought. But it's actually not true. FF11 did actually come out before FF12, which I know sounds like a duh. But actually, it's only a 2-year gap in between the two games, which is really weird to think about. Anyways. At least here. What am I doing? Stardust Cave. If we're counting all of the FFs, the worst FF to... sorry. Counting all the mainline FFs, the worst FF to start with by far would be 13. I would never recommend that. 15 would probably be a good follow-up for bad, starting choice. Use this rod behind the vampire's room. Hiding deep inside, you'll find the cause of the Earth's rot. I don't think they've ever made a Spirits Within game, and God willing, they never will. I mean, yeah, the MMOs don't count. They don't. MMOs are a different beast. They always have been. They always will be. Some people argue whether or not FF11 is a mainline FF, and the answer is no, of course it isn't. It's an MMO. Even FF12, which emulates MMO design, isn't an MMO. MMOs are just different. So, I would not consider Mystic Quest to be a particularly bad game, and I should know. I've reviewed Mystic Quest. It is, in fact, one of only 2 FFs that I've reviewed. Although that number is about to be expanded to 3. Mystic Quest has good music and a couple of elements of good design at the beginning and end. The problem with Mystic Quest really is the middle. Going back through the review really solidified that in mind, because in my mind, I tend to remember it fondly. And of course I did. It has a good intro, and it has a good outro. But, oh my god, the middle is just filled with junk. There's this gigantic swath of what I can only refer to as pure concrete padding in the middle of Mystic Quest, and that's the actual problem with that game right there. Let's get rid of that. That, since that's been invalidated. Get the power staff. I figured. Nobody can equip that, of course. So let's get rid of the Gax. You know, I'm not even sure what this would take code-wise, but I've been thinking about this game for a minute, and you know what would really make this game pop? Being able to swap classes. find out in a moment. That is extremely expensive. But yes, he can actually equip it. 45,000. We can't afford that. Hold on. What's his current? So that's an additional 10 absorb. That's not too much. Oh, I'm sure you're right, Star Wars. You know me, and purity, or purisms, or whatever you want to call that. I think I'm going to hold off on that for right now, because Crescent Isle is going to open up very soon, and they have a lot of expensive stuff that I might want. Hang on, let's refill everything first. No, actually. Ross only has a copper bracelet. I probably should go ahead and upgrade that. Out of the way, out of the way. Here you go, Ross. Don't say I never did nothing for you. God damn it. This frickin' menuing is so frustrating. Move. Oh my god, move. Oh my god, move. Move. Jesus Christ. Oh, I have Blade Fall. What I'm really debating is if it's more than one negative. So far it hasn't cost me. Like, so far it's just been irritating. Like, like this is a huge problem. I have to be really careful about tapping run, for example. And it's really easy to exit menus on accident, and sometimes, as I've mentioned in the document, it just doesn't accept input, and I have no idea why. Oh, right. I should probably jot down the negative for the Earth Cave right now. Of course we're paralyzed. Don't worry, I just got you a silver bracelet. So the negative for the Earth Cave is for the backtracking. Having to do most of the Earth Cave twice is just not good design by any measure. Especially since it's essentially just for a fetch quest. Go halfway down, get the ruby, go use the ruby, go turn into the guy, and the guy's like, no, you have to go further down, and then you go further down. Again, a simple shortcut would make this way smoother. Or even, like, if there was an item right by the vampire that let you teleport out, that would at least be better. Yeah, it's not even a significant gap. We're right back in here. Granted, I know what I'm doing and where I'm going, but still, this is not exactly... We're just doing the same dungeon again. Yeah, actually. Because, yeah, the Fiends have the exit panel, or whatever it is. No, I have not, Trihexia. What the heck is an aerobic championship? Nope, nope, nope. That's a good question, Darkrai. If it did, it would be on the first floor. So tell you what, I'll go check as soon as I get out of here. This way, I think. I mean, again, the exit spell exists in this game, so the tech exists one way or the other, right? The programming logic of remove to overworld layer exists. Yeah, you remember? So far I've jotted down one positive for Brickwork for the entire game. For just, like, you know, looking like a cave, kind of. Or looking like a volcano. Oh, jeez. But, I'm also debating a negative to Brickwork, because, you know, it looks like this. Like, I'm sorry. It's just, as we talked about during the Secret of the Stars run, this is not super great. Can't run. Can't run. Because you can't run from wizards because they're a boss one time. Right. Go away. Sure, tracks, yeah. Hi, Morganite. You ready for Ross to one-shot all of these wizards? I mean, illithids. In next round, anyways. Why don't you heal yourself, Kennex Cow? Please? I cannot believe that happened. So you asked how I think I'll feel the Evoker is so far. The Evoker is a fascinating class. It's primarily support, but I don't mind. It's also expensive as hell, but I guess it's true for any mage in this game. Like, if I was running black mages right now, I wouldn't be using their spells very often either. I mean, people have done entire studies on FF4 and how they got really, really clever with extremely limited tools to convey a lot of emotion and atmosphere and storyboarding. Please don't go down. Okay, fine. Move. Move. Bats. Ah! And I can't run from these. Yeah, a dipped head can be used for a lot of things, and is used for a lot of things. It can mean sad, it can mean contemplative, it can mean looking down. It can mean, if you do it up and down, it could be a nod. If you do one arm raised and then lowered head, it looks like you smacked something. Like I said, they got creative with it. If I could be honest for a second, I think that one of the things that a lot of game designers did, Square is absolutely guilty of this, by the way, is they forgot the craft of conveyance in a scene. God, that sounds pretentious. Let me try to say that in slightly more English words. Yeah, no kidding, Ross. They had all of a sudden they just had all of the tools in the toolbox, and so they just wanted to use all of them and use that to cover for design, right? So instead of designing a scene, they just have someone say something, or they just show it directly, right? No need to try and think about how to convey that emotion or that character's thoughts or feelings or whatever to the personality of the audience. You could just show it. There was a whole lot of tell, don't show in a lot of their games. Now, FF13 is probably the example of that going badly. And it's not like they don't have some subtlety in more modern stuff. Obviously, FF16 manages a fairly large amount of character nuance just because of really good voice performances. Use it. Use the thing. Use the thing. Okay. Scared me for a second. I'm failing at explaining my point. It's something that's happened in movies as well. When you don't have to design, you could just rely on brute forcing things. I feel like some of the creativity, some of the nuance, some of the quality is lost. Yeah, actually, Star Wars is a great example. Star Wars conveyed a lot with some very basic tools because they had to. when we got to the first couple of the prequel trilogy films, one of the biggest things that I tend to poke at them and be like, ugh, is because the fact that they had, here it is right here, is they lost any of that nuance. Characters would just say what they were thinking to each other, straight up. Just like, hey, what's up? Like, there was a tremendous amount of tell, don't show in episode 1 and episode 2 both. Yeah, also, they really needed a script doctor. Which is funny, because, you know... oh my god, I can't think of her name. The woman who played Leia was right there. Resist paralysis. Carrie Fisher, thank you. Jeez Louise. For those of you who know what, Carrie Fisher is actually a rather well-renowned, excuse me, a rather well-renowned and venerated script doctor in Hollywood. That would have been funny, have her come in and just doctor up the script, looking like, what the hell? George, what are you doing? What is this nonsense? Well, I want to convey that he doesn't like sand, but he likes her. Okay, how about we do literally any dialogue other than this? Just anything. Anything in the entire world other than this. These feel like tile battles. Yep, these are tile battles. True, Darkrai. I more meant like after Return of the Jedi. Like that was kind of the career path she went on. Oh my god. Remind me to restock on heals when we get out of here, too. Holy crap. Assuming I can afford to. I might not be able to. Wizards. In any game, Wizards of the Coast are the worst. You know what? I can use another example, although I think I'll get some hackles for this. So another franchise that started being able to do really fancy, flashy effects and really up the gameplay of the show to the detriment of the show in question is New Trek. I'm not saying all of New Trek is bad or whatever other nonsense is being thrown around there. I just think that New Trek in general has been hit with that particular brush the same as most television has. Yeah, there's... oh, god damn it. God damn it. That's really irritating that that happened. I... Whatever, Ross is dead, so I can just badmouth the Prodigy now. Prodigy sucks! That's really irritating. Prodigy still garbage. All right, but for real though, it's not actually a Star Trek problem. It's just I am more familiar with it. No, Prodigy is actually a good show. I'm just more familiar with it with regards to Star Trek because every show in Hollywood has been trying very, very hard to push towards the idea of use the big flashy effects and try to up the gameplay score of the show. Have you ever noticed, like in the last, say, 10-ish years, that most shows have jumped down from 20 episodes a season to like 10? They cost the same, it's worth noting. Resist stone. Yeah, no, they don't put the money into the writing. They put the money everywhere else. Let's, let's give that to Ross. Hey, Ross, put these on your dead corpse. Oh, there's production value. Although, so, if you remember, the way we started this whole conversation was people who had access to more tools and more expenses stopped bothering designing, which leads me very neatly into New Trek. Now, I'll point to Discovery specifically, because I'm actually more familiar with the gameplay score of Discovery. Discovery's gameplay score is actually pretty freaking bad. They had all these special effects and flashy, amazing stuff, and lighting, and detached cameras, and bigger sets, and better things. Everything was better, and that's why it looks all worse, is because nobody actually understands how to use anything, or at least nobody's bothering. I would actually go so far as to say that Discovery has some of the worst camera work, lighting, and set design that I have ever seen in Star Trek, and I am including TOS in that. So, Lich. This should be fun. Ross, you just... ow. Blade Taval's dead. Instantly. Okay. So I've seen volume used well. Several times, actually. But then I've seen volume used very, very poorly. I'll point to something specific. One of the episodes, there's a scene in the first season of The Mandalorian where they've just finished the big challenge and they've successful, and then Mando, the guild representative guy I can't think of, and what's-her-face are all just like jump into a scene like, hey, and they just have this brief chat with each other about where they're going next before they rush off. And it's so incredibly obvious that they're standing in front of volume. It looks weirdly amateurish compared to the rest of the show. And there's moments like that periodically where it's just like, ugh. Oh, okay. Please go off. Volume is... Oh, God, don't... You know what? Look it up, Czar. Google exists for a reason. Please don't work. Please don't work! That is true, Ross. That is absolutely true. I mean, Andor, while we're on the subject. Which is, of course, my overall point, Ross. Let me use two other examples of this problem I'm talking about, because this is not a new problem at all. The first issue, the first way I'll explain this, is with that terrible, terrible MMO that Amazon made, which I don't remember the name of, and frankly, neither do you. Okay, it worked. New World. That would be it. Oh, thank God. I actually thought we were going to have to redo the whole freaking dungeon. Enjoy the experience, 2 survivors. Frickin' hell. Okay, so I'm going to save right now. Oh, okay. Industrial Light and Magic. But you also can just search for ILM. You literally just search for ILM. Google knows what ILM is. What the hell was I talking about? Right, New World. So, New World sucked. It's actually one of the worst MMOs ever made. It is actual garbage. And one of the biggest reasons why is because what Amazon did was they threw money at it, like way, way, way too much money at it, without throwing any talent at it. The presumption was that with enough budget, you would be able to create quality. Spoilers, no. Doesn't work that way, right? It's the same concept, right? Yeah, Concord actually is another example of this concept. It's the same concept. It's like, well, we're just going to throw the resources we have at it until it's good, presuming that more resources equals good. More tech, more tools. The whole point here isn't actually the fact that they... Yeah, Avatar. The point isn't the fact that the tools exist. That's not really the issue. Plenty of modern games, shows, and movies look great because of the fact that the people involved were talented and skilled and knew what they were doing and put some time and effort and work into it. The attitude going into it is the real issue here. Yeah, exactly. Tools enable. I mean, honestly, AI-generated slop. Right? Now, that's not a great example because there's no such thing as good AI-generated slop. But point remaining, that's what this is boiling down to, is people just throwing prompts at things saying, make something good. It is incapable of making something good for you. Only you can make something good. But the other example I was going to use... Sorry, I'm getting dragged off topic here a little bit. The other example I was going to use is the Brown era of gaming. Obviously, there's, the Brown era of gaming involved a lot of brown, which is why we call it that. But what a lot of people don't remember is the specific thing that made the Brown era of gaming was this exact concept we're talking about. All of a sudden, in the mid to late aughts, game developers had access to tools they never had before. And they could do blur, and they could do bloom, and they could do grain, and they could do fog, and all these tools to make the game look, well, better. But of course, what it ended up making was made the main games look worse. Because they were using all these brand new super advanced techniques that were trash. And they didn't know what to do with them. They didn't know how they were using them. And I used that example specifically because it's a great example of how this isn't a new problem. Plenty of times in human history, people have been like, oh man, we could do this instead of designing something. And the answer is always, no, you can't. I think we're going to Crescent next. Oh, God. Yeah, people like procedural generation, right? I've got it. I've got it. I've got a great idea. We'll have infinite content in our new Fallout game by having a dude who just constantly sends you to new settlements, even after you've already cleared them. It'll just procedurally add new enemies to the settlement, and they'll have infinite content. Players will love that! And we won't have to design content. I'll be honest, I tend to come down pretty hard on procedurally generated content because I like design. I'm quite unabashed of that opinion, I should mention. But it's worth noting that procedurally generated content can be designed. There are plenty of games that are heavy on procedural generated content and are still very good games. Yeah, Diablo or Hades or frickin' 20XDX. Hey, look, trolls. Careful, everyone. It's a peed. That's true. Daggerfall. And Daggerfall is another great example of how, once again, this is not a new problem. This is nothing new. People have always tried to be, and let's just call this what this is, lazy. People have always wanted to not put the effort and work that is required in order to make something good in. That's nothing new. So let's just refill these really quick, because we completely tapped the well on that. Hi, Sean. Ooh, okay. That's actually not that great a gear. Okay. Light Warriors, you can do it. Thanks. Platinum, huh? 27, 20, 3.5. I think we've actually got better than that. 26, 23.5. Yeah, that's not worth the money. Oh, there's rub, aka kill. I've always wondered why they translated that as rub. Like the... There's exit, by the way. Not that we can get that. Sword dance. Ooh. Increase all allies' weapon damage by 10 points. Well, we still haven't gotten another attack dance. But that's another nice buff dance. I'll take it. Right. Let's see. Where's Crescent Lake? Here we go. Yeah, they were probably going for erase, and they were like, we can't fit that. I've got it. We'll call it rub. We'll call it power word. Ugh. Satin scarf. Ooh. Massively increases hit chance. And yeah, we're obviously going to put that on Kennex Cow. Kennex Cow, have a substantial increase to your evasion and hit chance. Yeah, kill would have fit the character limit, but this was in the era where you weren't allowed to say kill or death in these things. The Earth Fiend causes our land to rot. The Fire Fiend will burn everything up. As you restore light to the orbs, you'll reveal more secrets. Please see us repeatedly. 4 fiends are bent on the world's destruction. 200 years ago, the Fiend of Wind teamed with that of water to destroy civilization. All of civilization? Oh my god. Each element's power focuses at its altar. Locate and crush the Fiend and to make it shine, place the orb on the altar it guarded. Only you can make the orb shine again. quickly before all is burnt. Hurry to Gurgu Volcano and stop the fiend of fire. Earth, wind, fire, and water. The world is bound by these four powers. Once the orbs shined with the power of earth, wind, fire, and water, the four fiends seized these powers. Don't worry, they're just entelechies. It's fine. Oh, there's the canoe. Yes. We, the 12 sages, were led here by the stars and prophecy. I am Lucan. Now all legends and prophecy will be fulfilled. Our path has been decided. So now we have the canoe. Entelechies is a concept from FF14 that I borrowed for the Final Fantasy rewrite. So in FF1, excuse me, as opposed to FF1R, which is what we're playing, each of the four fiends is actually an Entelechie. Ah. Let's go do something else first. Hey, Colgrim. It's been a weird run so far. I think that's how I'm to describe it. It's been weird. Is it up? I don't remember here. No, it is down. So much of the meat content is just FF1, so... Well, we started off with a whole bunch of positives. We're probably going to be slowly increasing the negatives as we go. I was going to get the airship, like, all. I mean, of course you can, Mr. Red. Don't be ridiculous. You got this. You have the touch, Mr. Red. You have the power. You have the Hydras. Ah! Oh no, the ice cave is very mean. That's why I haven't saved recently. And don't plan to. Because this is a long trip that I don't want to have to escape from. So anyways... Make sure we actually got this. Nope. Okay, this was before that. Alright. I was hoping to avoid another grind session, but we probably should actually go do a grind session. Really hoping to have the airship for that, but... I don't know, I could probably still make it happen. Oh, right, I should get Sword Dance. Yeah, the benefit, if you could call it that, of 4 people trying to run is that you have 4 chances to run. If anybody succeeds, the whole party runs. Guess we could try the Hall of Giants. I think the music is a little confused. I mean, it also doesn't help that the menu entering is much worse than it looks like, Colby. Listen, quality of life is not allowed in my NES, okay? Where am I? Okay. I'm not even sure what level to grind to now. It just occurred to me. I will notice I didn't see anything worth buying in Crescent, so with that in mind, we will go ahead and buy the steel armor for over half my money. We are 12, 10, 10, and 10. Like, everything I'm doing right here probably looks smooth and easy. That's just because I know what I'm doing. And I've done it many times. This is a terrible interface. Let's just be nice and open about that. Okay. Let's go hit the Hall of Giants. Whoop, whoop. No, I'm going the right way. I'm going the right way. It's still better than its contemporaries, which is really pathetic when you think about it. I bash this game, but it really should be worth noting that this game was so much ahead of its contemporaries. It's the WoW Vanilla thing all over again, right? WoW Vanilla sucks, but for the time? Now, I walked into this game and I thought it was neat, you know, when this came out in the NES, or in the US, excuse me. Was it better than FF11? No. But nothing is better than FF11. Good luck, let us know. But the thing here is, I walked into this game already familiar with, you know, good design. Wait, is this it? Like, this is what, 87, I want to say? I'd already experienced good game design by 87. So I was a little spoiled in that front. Obviously earlier in Japan, but that doesn't apply to me, because that's what I'm saying. Is that from my perspective, when this game came out in the States, I had already experienced good game design. I swear, nobody listens to me. I guess we can mug them while we're here. Fun fact, the reason why all of the weapon buffs specifically mandate having a weapon equipped is because the designer of this game absolutely refuses to allow attack buffs to apply to monks. I don't know why. Wow, these only have 50 gold. That's not even worth the menuing. Oh no, being able to buff your monk makes them stronger. Who could have possibly foreseen this? No. What I'm sorry, I had moved on from that topic, but just no. So, this game was ahead of its time for the time, but I had already experienced good game design by the time it came out in the States. That was the point I was trying to make. Although, actually, when did this come out in the States? Let's see, because I got to hold down A here. Let's see, what do we got? What do we got? When did this game come out? It's just hard to do with one thumb. Final Fantasy 1. No, I don't want the AI whistle. Thank you for that. Yeah, I know it was relatively late. There it is, July of 1990. So where's the Mega Man series at that point? Mega Man. You know what irritates me the most about the things on Wikipedia that ask for donations? I've already donated. They don't know that, of course. But, you know. Come on, guys. Okay, yeah. So by this point in time, Mega Man 2 was already out. Not 3. 3 would come out later that year. Ooh, we leveled up. I probably should have checked how much experience we were getting, because I didn't actually check that. In 87? Well, give me a sec, because I'm still curious about my perspective. I know, I'm very selfish. Give me a sec. Mario 3 was already out, for me, before FF1 came out. Yeah, so Mega Man 2, Mario 2, Mario 3. I could honestly stop there. I'm pretty sure Castlevania was out already, too. In fact, let's just double check that really quick. Why is Castlevania the TV series the top result for that? Jesus, Google. Be slightly better. Let's see. In the States... Oh, wow. Were we up to Castlevania 3 by this point in time? Not quite. So Castlevania 1... So Mario 1 and 2... Mario 1, 2, and 3... Mega Man 1 and 2... And Castlevania 1 and 2 had all come out before FF1 came out in the States. Yeah. Now, December of 87, a little different. So, let's see here. What day of December of 87? '18th. Okay. One day before this came out in Japan, Mega Man 1 came out in Japan. Beat it. Beat it by one day. I'm assuming nothing else was anywhere at that point. I mean, obviously Mario Brothers 1 was out. I don't remember where Mario Brothers 2 was at. Mega Man 1 was not exactly a great game, no. Let's see. No, it wasn't. Pillars of Jesus Christ. Do you listen to me at all? Sorry. So Mario Brothers 1, but not 2, was out in Japan at this point in time. What about Castlevania? It's the other one, I would say. No, I apologize. That was uncalled for, Delicious Snow. Oh, wow. I think Castlevania 1 might actually predate it. Hang on. Yeah, late 86. Wow. Holy crap. It even predates it in America. Not that that counts for anything. Did I like the 3D Mega Man games? No. Okay. So we've got... I haven't reviewed Castlevania 1, so I'm not even sure if that's a good game or not. Um, but Castlevania 1 and Mario Brothers 1 predate this. And I got nothing. The only Mario Brothers 2, which is called Mario Brothers 2, Darkrai. It's a pointless hill, but I will die on it. Really, Centaur? Oh, it's funny you ask that. If you type !next into chat right now, you might learn something about that. So now Pillars of Snow has actually got me thinking about a fascinating question. Is there such a thing as a video game that has good gameplay, like good gameplay access specifically, prior to December of '87? Because that's our line, right? That's when this came out in Japan on the Famicom. Hey, Kennex Scout just leveled. Nice. I thought I didn't refill these in this timeline. Yeah, I was going to say, Super Mario Brothers 1 actually practices some not insignificantly good gameplay design decisions. And, yeah, it still has issues. I was actually going to say Dragon Quest 1, which sits in basically the exact same space, really. Yeah, it's a PSP game. That's easy to stream, Mr. Red. So, even in both of those cases, I'm not sure those count. And that's all I'm coming up with. We got Super Mario Brothers 1 and Dragon Quest 1 as far as something that might beat FF1 on the gameplay axis. And even that's kind of a... let's just do that. When did DuckTales come out? In Japan. The original. Because I could have sworn that was later. Frost is just like, I'm sick of you. Go away. Why did you summon Ramu? Ah! This is Giant Hall, by the way. Every single one of these tiles is a trap tile, and they tend to have giants. Wow, so yeah, DuckTales was several years later. Okay. Good gameplay. Maybe. I shouldn't say that. I haven't reviewed it yet. We're going to review it for the NES blog. That really brings an interesting question to mind. What was the first NES game that had solidly good gameplay? Which I suppose we would define as a gameplay score of greater than 0. Of the ones we've covered, that would probably be Mega Man 2. Which is what, 88, I want to say? I'm trying to think if anything would beat that. I suppose by technical definition, Tetris might qualify by virtue of just not really having a lot of negatives, but that feels like it's not really answering the question, you know? Dragon Quest II was 87. Oh god. Someone do me a favor and check how many gameplay negatives did Dragon Quest II get? Net. Negative 15. That's less than I thought, actually. That's pretty good. Honestly, net 0 is pretty good for an NES RPG. Although, granted, we played the slightly more modern version. Yeah, the original NES version would probably be dipping below 0. I don't think it would dip much, but there is that grind wall at the end. And it is a straight-up grind wall. It was shocking going back to Dragon Quest 1. Like, the whole game was smooth as butter. And then we hit the... It was either the last dungeon or the second to last dungeon. And it was just all of a sudden, nope, go grind. Wow, that didn't kill him. Well, regardless, thank you, totally anonymous person, for the sub. If you wish to oust yourself and put thresholds up to 3 things, please let me know. I'm not sure this is actually worth the experience. Like, over time. Wait, really, Blizzard Snow? Wow. It's rumors, Centaur. Pure rumors. Alright, let's get rid of these guys. But thank you for the sub, Centaur, very much. And if you want to put that towards up to 3 future streams, please let me know. Yeah, honestly, I don't think this is really great experience. I mean, it's good for the time. It's good if the bug didn't exist. Oh god, yeah, all the arcade ports on the NES. Ugh. What's funny is I would probably argue that the first FF game that had good gameplay score, maybe I shouldn't say it like that, had a gameplay score that wasn't terrible, would be FF4. Everything before that has some pretty big asterisks dragging it down. 1 was a buggy mess that barely functioned in several respects, and was an awful old interface. 2 had basically all the issues of 1, plus a new system which barely worked correctly and wasn't balanced properly. 3 was actually pretty solid until you get to the last, like, 3 dungeons, in which case you just get punched in the face mercilessly. And that leads you to 4. Oh my god, come on. Yeah, and then 4 still has its issues. Hey, Desperado Joe. For example, 4... There's a concept I call info in game, which 4 has never even heard of. Half of the spells and ham. Honeyed ham, of course. Half of the spells and equipment, and even items in some cases in FF4, the game doesn't convey to you at all how they work or what they do exactly. Which one, Blade of All? For there are many. I can't do pastrami. I forget what, but there's something in it that just... can't do it. Oh, the duping glitch. Yeah, you can also make tons of money in FF4. With the underflow gold glitch. You can also tunnel to the moon, of course. Oh, wow. I think that was 4, no, don't call me on that. I don't think I've ever put chips on a sandwich, no. Tell you what, all that armor is making so these guys don't instantly kill me anymore, which is nice. Still hurt. It's just not, instantly killing me hurts. Imagine if I was at this point in the game, I still had 30 HP. But yes, FF4 had bad info in game, and as you point out, there's no actual misinformation in game. Also a very weird difficulty curve, which just jumped all over the place. Still some interface issues. I'm trying to think of other major gameplay flaws that 4 would have. I suppose encounter rate, which is just kind of a gimme for older RPGs. Only 1,000 experience from all that. Wow. Wow, I think you only got 2 stat ups from that. Jesus. Okay, we need to fight about 4 packs like that to be ready to go. So we're just gonna sit here for a second. The removal of abilities doesn't count as a gameplay negative. That's not how that works. It's more like an absence of a positive, if anything. However, yeah, the fact that you have no idea what to do on that fight is just kind of like, huh? It's a weird side effect of that change. I don't even know why they got rid of those abilities. It's not like it really made the game better or even simpler. It's kind of worse. That's what I'm here for, Tamaz. Just doing my part for the environment. I also remember a few bosses are just kind of bullcrap in FF4. The CPU comes to mind immediately. Screw that fight. If I could go back and choose one RPG to localize first for any franchise. So this is going to sound like a stupid question. Aren't they all localized at this point? Don't we have everything? I mean, I guess there's Mother 3. But that's not... I don't know. I suppose that's fair. We do have some bad localizations. In that case, if I really wanted to polish up a localization... That's actually a tough one. Let me think about that for a second. I think I'd pick FF7. As I have demonstrated on camera, FF7's localization is actually terrible. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. Most of the people meme on it for being just like, haha, just kind of silly. A lot of people tend to forget that that localization gets worse and worse and worse and worse the further the game you get, until it gets to the point where it's difficult to even tell what the hell's going on in certain scenes. If it wasn't for the animation and the storyboarding going on, I bet some people literally wouldn't understand scenes in that game. Is it sad that the Peninsula of Power just doesn't give me a lot of experience at this point? Yeah, FF7 has some really great story beats to it. Some good characters, some interesting themes, and some great moments. And a legitimately engaging plot. It's one of the reasons why one of the ways my entire channel got started was by explaining what the hell was going on in FF7 specifically. Because, you know, it's not super apparent. Hell, I know a ton of people who have no idea what's going on with the... I'm not going to spoil, but there's a Cait Sith scene. A scene between Cait Sith and Barrett that a lot of people are just like, what? Because it is so nonsensical. They're not speaking English in any way. They're just throwing out random words that don't seem to connect to each other at all. Oh, probably most, honestly. People just know. Like, statistically speaking, more than 50%, I would say. I do remember when these guys were two-shotting us, and one-shotting us. Now they're barely worth my time. Unfortunately, while there are technically a couple of other grind spots I could go to right now, I don't really have ease of access to them. And I certainly don't have an easy access to a recovery spot nearby. So the Peninsula is still one of the better grind spots overall at this point. And I'm still raking in the gold, which is going to be helpful when I start spending it left and right later on. I gotta pay for that armor I just got, Rax. I still haven't actually gotten my money back up to how much it was before I bought that armor. So my goal is... I should probably save. My goal is to get Blade Taval up to 12. Oh, shoot. Oh shoot, oh shoot. This is why I saved. Run! 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 Okay, okay. Oh, thank God, it's just a bunch of giants instead of some wolves. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's a long-standing joke, is that wolves are just terrifying. It's like, oh, thank God, it's a demon lord instead of some wolves. I don't want to deal with a pack of wolves right now. Over in D&D, I believe this is 3rd edition, might have been 2nd edition. Wolves had a passive ability, which meant every time they successfully hit you with any attack, you would have to do a save against being tripped. Wolves hunted in packs. So that sucked exactly as much as it sounded like. I think we're going to bring up Ramo for this group. Yep. Kennex Cow, I need you to live for a minute. Well, if it wasn't for the grinding, I'd already be done, Colgrim, if that answers you. I am a little over halfway through the game, but I'm still going to I have to grind right now. It's what I'm doing. And I'm going to have at least one more grind spot in the future. Probably 3 separate grind spots in the future, I would say. And before you ask, we have access to no cheats or anything similar, so we're just kind of stuck here in the grind well. I might do some off-camera grinding. I haven't decided on that yet. Beef banh mi? That did not do nearly as much damage as I was hoping. Oh my gosh. Heal thyself, Ross. Don't take damage, Ross. Just heal yourself. Please. Okay, they didn't kill you. That's good. And Kennex Cow actually managed a 95% chance to dance, so I'm happy about that. Oh my god. How much further till 12? One more battle. One more battle. Okay, one more battle that's not going to kill me. One more battle that's not going to kill me. Okay, I know that you hate me, game. I know that you are filled with a vitriolic and violent rage. Okay. It's okay. Instead of 7 wolves, It's 3 giants. Yes, 7 wolves. Good God. And every single one of them could do an AoE frost attack that could almost kill me. Okay. Good news is this will probably level me. As long as Blade Travell lives. And I just noticed he's kind of low on health. So I think I just cursed myself. We'll find out in a second. Let's go ahead and do a heal. Yeah. We're just going to heal it up. Blade Travell, I want you to keep robbing them. That's very important. Okay. Okay, you're not dead immediately. That's good. That's good. We're not currently in a state of dead. Okay. Ding. Let's get out of here. The GM's like, well, hang on. As you're leaving, level 1 nobodies show up to waste your time. Let me roll each of their attacks, and then each of their damage. Okay, what do you want to do? I run, dude. Hang on. This one wolf goes before you. Okay, you failed to run. Okay, this other wolf goes. Okay, you failed to run again. Okay, you've successfully run. Now you can get on with it. Also, these might poison you, just so you know. Hang on. There's one more enemy. It goes before you, of course. Okay, now you can go. What do you want to do? Fine, I'll white damage it. Okay, roll to hit. It's dead. Okay, good. Hang on. Let me calculate your GP and no, I don't care. I don't care. Please, for the love of God, just let me get out of here. Hey, bike. She's off becoming a time traveler. Let's refill our heals while we're here. And our tents. And our pures. Jeez Louise, Pillar Snow, I am sorry. Okay, now we're going to try the Ice Cavern. Or, oh my god. God. I guess the fastest way is literally all the way around? Or can we get there from here? Yeah, let me look at the map really quick. Hang on. 4 guys ambush you. I don't care. But they're ambushing you. What are you gonna do? I run, dude. Actually, I can get to the Ice Cavern from here rather than circling the entire globe. No, I was going to get an MRI. And then they realized I just had kidney stones. I could go just straight west. Or... It's right here. Little quicker of a trip. See, I thought it existed, but I wasn't 100% sure. That's why I pulled up the map to double check myself. Okay, this is great. I might use a map for the Ice Cave. It's not a small dungeon, and it's pretty mean. When I was doing it in the Pixel Remaster, it was beating the crap out of me. And there's traps in there. We didn't bring a Geomancer. I tried to kill that. Yeah, this is about when the GM remembered that the death spell exists. Like, if you think of FF1 as a bad GM, a lot of the game makes way more sense all of a sudden. And Kennec's cow is dead. Cool. Have I told you about when Gary was GMing for us? The last time he ever GM'd ever? That's not a joke. He's never GM'd since. So the Hydra hits for about 70. And she has 219 health. And it beelined her every round. Yeah, I was actually lining up a heal, too. So anyways, have I told you that story, Mr. Red? It's an old story. And I know I've told a lot of my stories before. I got that old man problem. Don't want to repeat myself. Oh my god, please, for the love of God. So, Gary's GMing, and he set up this whole adventure for us to go into a town and go interact with a thing and find a local death knight who's trying to practice necromancy. It's a whole story arc, right? I don't remember all the details of it because we didn't do that adventure. Instead, we're in town, and we're like, all right, so what do we got? What's nearby? And Gary's like, oh, okay. There's some issues with the local produce. You know, the orchard has been having issues. Okay. There's also this hints of some kind of issue to the west. Okay, and there's been a massive problem with the kobolds nearby. Now, real quick, if you asked your GM for quest hooks and that's what you received, what do you latch on to of those three things? Glad I just bought more of these. Yeah, the kobolds, which is exactly what we latched onto. So we're like, oh god, what's going on with the kobolds? He's like, there's a fort. There's a huge fort nearby. Oh my gosh. There's a fort like right near town with tons of kobolds. Oh my god, these poor people. These people have been oppressed by the kobold. Oh my god, would you stop killing people before I can move? Look at what they did to Ross. In one round. Okay, hold up. Okay, Ross, you're under the back. I know that's probably going to endanger Kennec's cow's life, but honestly, you cannot take these hits. So, we go to the kobold fort, and he's like, okay, there are lots of kobolds here. And we're like, oh, jeez, okay. Okay, so we start getting strategic, and most of you probably don't know this. Those of you who watched either the Primus campaign or watched me playing in that Shadows of the Underdark campaign under 3rd know that I tend to get really tactical when it comes to D&D. That's part of the appeal for me, is engaging my brain on what I can only refer to as a strategic level, right? Turn-based tactics. You know me. So I sit down and I start figuring out a battle plan. And we use the terrain and use the walls and slow-mode our way for hours of real time through every single kobold encounter. I don't remember Pillars of Snow. They would be on Guido's channel if they're anywhere. Frickin' Beholder. I'm also particularly proud of the time when we had to rescue Cadiz's brother from, like, the realm of hell. I forget which demonic layer it was, but it was an unpleasant place. And I managed to make it happen in, like, I want to say 3 rounds. It required some very specific calculations. It's like, okay, hold up. Guido, if you cast haste on me, I could go 210 feet per round, take an action, and then the next round I could get a... And so, like, I turned into the Flash. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. Oh, hold up. Let's go ahead and pop a save here. Yeah, actually, Blade Joel, that's kind of how that worked out, too. Anyways. Kobolds. So we're fighting all these kobolds and pushing through all this nonsense. And it's like, okay, we've got this. I just need to focus. We get this, and we try to stem the tide. We find out pretty far in, after a few hours of fighting these things, that they're all steaming out of a hole in the courtyard. And we're like, aha! That's it. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, that's the one, Mr. Red. That makes perfect sense. The kobolds tunneled under the fortress, and that's how they took over the fort. This is the source of the problem. No issues, no problems. So we're like, rawr, we charge in, and we manage to push them back to the hole, back into the hole, throw some stuff into the hole, set it on fire, cover it up, and we're like, okay, we fixed the problem. And Gary just says, yeah, they're just making fun of you. They're mocking you. And he was kind of being an ass about the whole thing. And it was very strange. And so we're like, okay. Well, I guess we, now what? Like, because we were waiting for, like, the next hook. The boss to show up, or to go back in town and be like, hey, we did it. You know, something, right? That's not what we got. Right about at this point, Gary pretty much exploded at us and was like, you idiots, what are you doing? Why did you do this? We're like, what do you mean? What did we do wrong? Why did you go for the freaking kobolds? Because there was a bunch of kobolds. And it turned into this argument. And now I can laugh about it. Now we can make fun and be like, ha ha ha, it was ridiculous. But at the time... At the time, it was not a very pleasant. We'll use that word. It wasn't a very pleasant interaction. Yeah, there was a massive problem with the kobolds. It's like, oh, okay. Well, let's go for the kobolds then. Duh. What else are we supposed to do? Yeah, so he was pretty mad. He had no story idea for that. He had tons of work put in for this other adventure, which he hadn't conveyed to us. And in his own words, he thought that the giant swarm of kobolds would deter us, that we would be like, oh, wow, there's tons and tons of kobolds. We should leave the town to its fate and bail on them. And he thought that's how we would react to that Blade stunt. Oh, thank God, we're okay. Yeah, that's, anyways. Yeah, why would, yeah. And that's pretty much the problem right there. It was a whole lot of, why would we just leave the townspeople to their fate to go do your story? God, I love how Illithid's still hurt. That's such a great thing. That is true. It's on the verge of killing me. I can one-shot him at this point, but they still hurt. Oh, Blue Wind, Blue Wind. No, we're past the Marsh Cave. We're in the Ice Cavern now. We're in a much worse place. Yeah, remember, these guys don't actually... These specific enemies have no magic attacks whatsoever. They just do tons of physical damage with their attacks and have low health. Yeah, they're hitting most of my dudes for 50 plus. Oh, thank God. Rambo went off. As a reminder, you cannot run from Illithids. Excuse me, wizards. So you have to kill them. I'll have to look that up later, Dream Whisperer. Okay, so this is 7. This goes to B2. Hang on, I pulled up a friggin' map. I do not want to linger in this terrible, terrible place. Like, there's probably some decent loot in here, and I kind of don't care. You know? So where does this lead? Okay, so this is here. Yeah, we'll come back for loot later. There's actually some good loot in here, but we are a little bit too low for this place right now. Okay, so we're going to end up there, I think? Then we want to go here. Pretty sure that I'm doing this right. It is, in fact, the song that is based off of Mr. Road. I'll take a heal, too. Everything else here is honestly not worth my time. I'm just going to run. Except for the boss, who, of course, can cast Death. A spell that is aptly named. It's actually not named Death, it's called Rub. Because localization. We've actually already made that joke, but you know what? It's worth doing a second time. Okay, here, yeah, this is where I thought I'd be. So now we just have to be a little careful and not fall. That's the important part. Oh, can I run from sorcerers? So these cast spells. Okay. Let's not screw around at all. Let's not even try. What's the difference, sir? Cool. That's a great thing that they do. They do an AoE paralyze. That is really good of a thing that exists. God damn it. Blade Timo was unparalyzed for 1 second. Oh, in that case, I prefer the lizards then. Sorry, 100%. Oh, hey, Rax is dead. That's... And then we run. And then we run. You son of a... That pisses... That angers me. We are right at the boss. We are like 30 feet from the boss. And my best damage dealer just got one shot by a death proc. And there's nothing I can do about that. Actually, I guess you're right. We have to fall first? God, I'm trying to remember how to do this. God, that... I just... There's no reason. There's no reason to try. So it's about those negatives. Jesus, really, Pillars of Snow? I thought it was. Nope, I'm wrong. It's right here on Kenixcow. Speaking of things I can't run from. So, the reason we can't run from these is because these are technically used as a boss monster in one dungeon. back in the Marsh Cave. You're not allowed to run from boss monsters. Later on, they become regular monsters, but they retain the flag of not being able to run from them. Now, there are other individual mobs in the game that have the can't run mechanic, like the bull zombies that we saw earlier. But I don't know why those have it. I don't think those are ever a boss mob. Yeah, this is just a time and health tax at this point. Go away. So for those of you for whom I am a second screen person, allow me to explain in words. Let me tell you what just happened. So I encountered 3 more sorcerers who have a chance on hit to kill you instantly. They attacked Rax, my primary damage dealer, killed him instantly, and then I successfully ran from the fight. If that sounds familiar, that's because we've already done that. With the same encounter. Different room. Just because I'm curious. Let's pull up the sorcerer's stats here. So they have a 50% chance to attack you, which has the death proc. And they have a 50% chance to do trance, which is an AoE paralyze. And that's it. That's the sorcerer enemy. AoE paralyze, or a chance to kill you. Also, can I just say death procs are kind of a terrible idea in general in a game which doesn't have reses. Or at least doesn't have, like, normal reses. Okay. So, since there is no point in continuing, we're going to restart again. Take 3. There's really, like, you could argue that I could go do other stuff now, but kind of I can't. Really, the only thing that's preventing me from pressing forward is this cavern. There's not a lot of reason to go try to do anything else right now. And yeah, we're basically just praying for good RNG at this point. I knew he was just going to hit me. Jesus Christ! He just killed Ross in one shot before I could even move. Before I even had a chance to take an action. Because this is FF1, Synthelius. A game that really wants you to grind your face off. I remind you that the Peninsula of Power at this point gives me about 1/7 of a level every encounter. Which I'm telling you to emphasize just how far ahead of the X curve I actually am at that point. Like, that's not very good experience, and yet I'm arguably not even at the level where I should be fighting those yet. And yet, I'm getting mulched by everything else. Yeah, you want to speaking of changes I'm surprised this game didn't make. A res, right? So one of the things I praised so much in Zelda 2R was that they changed a lot. Can't run. Was that there were a lot of little changes, which were seemingly small, but actually had a tremendous impact when you thought about it, when you actually took it into equation. Adding a regular method of rezzing to FF1 would actually be a really good thing, right? Jesus Christ, Pillars no. It would improve the game substantially. It would remove a lot of issues with a lot of the more awful dungeons in this game. Because if someone died, it wouldn't require you to go back to town, basically. Because you have lost so much capacity you cannot keep up anymore. Hell, giving the player access to more AoEs earlier on might also help. I understand that a black mage would have access to some AoEs, but jeez Louise. Now, I can't give the game too many negatives, after all. It's all my fault, as everyone in the YouTube comments is going to tell me. I got one of those comments like that today, by the way. Just to mention how that's still being a thing that's still happening. But I do wonder if there's a combination of classes that would be better than my current setup. Because it's not like I'm low on capacity. The only thing that's really kind of hurting my combat capacity is my thief, and he's more than making up for it in utility. No, I'm not even doing that. Yeah, didn't take one step. 6 illithids you can't run from. Nah, I'm good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Not this game, Blue Wind. It was another game, but yes. Like I said, I get those comments regularly. Yeah, arguably this game, I would not call this game hard. That's not some kind of brag or flex. Unlike Blue Wind, who constantly flexes on us. No, I mean, like, this game is bullcrap. There are 2 enemies here, not counting the boss. All Blue Wind does is flex. There are 2 enemies here that are not the boss that have access to just instantly killing you. And there's nothing you can do about that at this point in the game. Yeah, Nintendo Hard. AKA, please keep playing our game much longer than the game actually is.
Dinner.
Okay, I'll be down in just a few. I don't think I'm supposed to be dinner. Am I dinner? Am I dinner? Am I dinner? It sounds like I am.
Wait, how'd that get there?
How'd what get there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you were going to give me this, remember? There's nothing on it, but I got it anyways. Oops, nope, don't care.
Wait,
okay.
where are the notes
What
I
notes?
gave you?
What notes?
The notes about what you should do each day.
I didn't get those. I never got those.
Wait, did you throw them away?
No.
What did you do?
Oh, you mean those notes? Those are in storage. Sorry. I know what you're talking about now. Silly me. Okay, now go. I'll be down in a bit, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to make one more attempt, and when I die here, because that's what's going to happen, I'll just start tomorrow. I do like how Goblin is still doing increasing damage as we go up. It'd be very easy for the low-level spells to just fall off, like, you know, they did in the original. Like, I'm pretty sure Drain Samba still does decent damage. About to find out. No, the real problem is, I'm not sure I have the patience to just sit and grind the Peninsula. And I don't think I have access to a better grind spot at this point. Not really. However, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted. There's no quick save, is there? I just realized. There's only the save. I believe it does, but let us know. Okay, so we're just going to straight down. See you around, Tomas. Have a good one. Jeez Louise. Look at some of these enemy encounters. Here's 9 enemies, 5 of which can paralyze you. Just as a chance. Yeah, we've actually been having good RNG this time, which of course means I'm about to die. So hang on, so where am I? I'm in B3 now. Where am I going? Where's my destination? Looks like southeast, so I want to go this way. And then this way. And then fight something I can't run from. Of course. Why can't I run from these? Why is this a thing? Okay. I'm about to cast Ramu on a single target, but whatever. Oof. Oof. God damn it. Right as I'm leaving the battle, too. He just wanted that. He just wanted that last spiteful shot. I swear to God, this is a GM who just wants to spit in my face as much as possible. This is, by the way, why you want 99 potions for this stupid dungeon. And most dungeons. Congrats. We'll just know. Okay, and this leads here. I'm just ignoring all these treasures. I don't care. I don't care. Don't care. Come on. So now I'm back in B2, I think. Where am I? Where am I? Nope, that's not B2. Where am I? Oh, I'm in B1 now. Where am I going? I see where I'm going. Okay. Yep. So I don't even need a map for that. It's actually quite linear. Boop. Inch. Boss. Okay. So we're gonna fight our first round. Because I'm going to risk something. I'm going to risk a sword dance before I've done an attack. This is very stupid, but I'm still going to do it. We're going to get a regen up and a heal up. Please don't cast death on me. What? I was worried about that fight. Well, now I just have to cast Exit. How do I get out of here? How do I... Uh... Oh god, I have to go through this stupid... Oh no! Okay, okay. Okay. See, now I'm scared. Because the trash is always the real problem with this place, and I'm not done with this stupid place. And I can't save. I can't quick save, I can't instant save, I can't exit, I can't anything. Okay. Pretty sure there's only one way out of this area, so we're just going to repeat our steps from before. Whoops. Try to take a minimum of steps. This is actually really good RNG to get R-Bones, which is funny because they hit like a truck, but that's good for us right now. Something we can deal with. Okay, so now we're back up here. And... Yep, I see it, I see it. Actually, I have, Mr. Red. Oh my god, we made it. Oh my god, we made it. Okay. Yeah, I'm now going to go very late to dinner. Tomorrow, we'll get the airship and deal with the Cave of Ordeals. Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be our other issue.